Hey man, do you suck at flirting over text or online dating? Watch this video because attractive man coaches Lynn, Kal, and David are gonna dive deep and show you how to flirt with girls over text. So watch the entire video.
It's intense how many matches girls get on Tinder. It's really intense.
Have I told you guys what I've done? I wanted to make a point with for my clients, my students in my online dating program. I literally took a photo of the carpet of the floor that it's in this room right now. I put the one photo of the carpet, I'm not kidding guys, and I think my profile says SH and then F. It was just gibberish that I typed on the keyboard, and that's it. And it says female and then age. I have so many matches and so many messages, they don't even know if I'm a girl or a guy. And some of the messages, most of the messages are like, hey, how's it going? And it's so obvious that they're copying and pasting because a lot of them are like, cute pics. I'm like, first off, there's one picture. Secondly, you're calling my carpet cute and there's like a strange wet spot on it anyway from a cat, right? Other messages are like, is that a wet spot on your pillow sheets? It's like, okay, like guys, so if this is what a girl that's posting a photo of the floor is getting, imagine what just an average looking girl is getting in her messages in her inbox.
I like hang out with my girlfriends and we kind of like start their Tinder. We kind of just check out what's going on there, and they don't go on Tinder as much as guys do because they get so bombarded that they actually get anxious. There's like, holy crap, I need a break. And once in a while, I think when like people get lonely and need validation, that's when they'll go on there and they'll kind of look through all those messages and look for something that sticks out.
That's why the best time to go on the online dating apps is around 9 or 10 at night. That's when most women are on there. It's because when they're feeling that loneliness or boredom. And you know what's really funny that you say women get overwhelmed is when you start using these tools, when you start understanding the mindset behind this, then guys too can become overwhelmed. So I just had my student write to me. He said, your program works so well that I'm literally afraid to open up my apps because I'm overwhelmed with messages. So what a wonderful feeling to finally feel like you are the picker, you are the chooser, and it's all doable, guys. It's all completely doable.
My advice is simple. As you know me, I just tell them delete all the dating apps, start outside, because at the end of the day, the goal is to see that person. And if you're not able to deal with your insecurities, which you can hide online much more easily than in real life, then you're just not gonna succeed in the long run. So it's kind of a lifestyle and longer game. What would you say to these guys? And if they go online, what should they text? I wanna know the best openers and whatever they have to do to be sure to succeed.
No, don't delete the dating apps. Don't delete the dating apps. I am with you, David, about nothing can substitute meeting and talking and approaching a woman in person. There's just so much that's happening there that you can't convert or have online. However, in our day and age, and especially with COVID, online dating is huge, and it's how people are really meeting nowadays. So my suggestion would be, if possible, continue approaching and have online dating be a supplement, be something that you do, at the end of the day or in the morning. But I definitely wouldn't take one over the other. But I think that emojis are really important with texting because, like you said, so many of the things that you have in real life, the vibe, the energy, the body language, the micro expressions, they're all kind of getting lost in translation. And so the way that you read a text, all caps or exclamation or grammar, emojis, those are your ways of kind of transferring and translating those keys that get lost in translation. That's how you do your best, I guess, to give that feeling through text.
100%. Like if you look at my text messages, you'll see so many emojis, like so many. And like sometimes three emojis in one text, just so that when she's reading something, she doesn't misinterpret it. She actually knows how I'm saying it. That's where the flirtation comes from. I find that the emojis definitely help kind of move the text in that direction. Sometimes I don't put emojis. It's not all the time, but
it also shows
usually
that you have personality. It also shows that you have personality, that you're being light, that you're being playful with it. It shows that you're excited about it. There is, though, for me at least, there's a fine line. There's a fine line between a guy using emojis to express, and then a guy over using emojis, and it almost kind of becomes this little girl or this nice guy, like, you know, everything I'm saying has to be super huge or super nice. Yeah. Or, you know, there's this one emoji that I really can't stand. I have to probably bring it up, but like every time he says something, he uses that emoji, and it makes him seem so nice guy. Like everything he's saying, he needs to soften it because he's worried about being too bold. So I think that there's a fine line between that. And so there could be, you know, two guys with identical profiles, identical bios, but one is texting me like, hey, how's it going? And another one is just being powerful and fun and just makes it exciting for me. I'm obviously going to have the conversation with the one that makes it fun, that makes me feel that has me engaged. And then all the other ones, the ones that could have potentially been really good matches, but they haven't learned how to text, they haven't learned how to communicate with women that way. That's so unfortunate. That's so sad, because those are all missed potential connections that I could have had, but they're missing that one skill that would have taken it to the next step.
What is not nice is to text to get a reply. That's the only thing that is not nice.
That's again that neediness, that like you are texting to get something, and that comes off as desperate and as you needing validation. It's not attractive.
Yeah. The best way to get a reply is by sending things that usually don't need a reply, right? Like I don't like asking questions. I like making statements. You know, I don't ask, hey, are you from, you know, Seattle or whatever. I just say you're from Seattle. And then they get an emotional reaction, whether they are from Seattle or not. Like, no, I'm not from Seattle. And then they start going on a tangent and they're like, yeah, I am from Seattle. How did you, what made you think that? And, you know, and then they start asking you questions. You know, when I send a meme that's just value, they are likely to respond to that. While if I ask them a question, they're like, ugh, I have to go in my head, think of how to respond to this. I don't have time for this right now.
And that's also very, very take energy, right? When you're asking a question. And it also leads to this interview mode and this interrogation mode. And it just feels very forced and like someone's making a big request of you. But Kal, what you said about making the assumption, that's a huge tip that I give my students too. And every time someone makes an assumption about you, so again, you're just taking that question, you are rephrasing it and recycling it into a statement, then the other person feels obligated to either confirm or deny. And it just makes it all of a sudden takes something that would have been cut and dry and kind of dull and boring. And now it makes it light and playful and fun, right? So instead of saying, hey, where are you from? Or are you from Iowa? Now you say, hey, you look like a girl that's from Iowa, or you look like you're from Iowa. Now I feel obligated to either correct you or to confirm, and now it shows that you have this confidence to make such a bold statement, and it's turned the conversation into fun versus this dull, boring interview that I feel, you know, is draining me.
Yeah, it builds the conversation up, like you're giving, and then they're giving, instead of just like,
Hey, now guys, I would like you to tell me your biggest secret about what is the blueprint to text. For me, it has always been pretty simple. There are 4 scenarios. When you get a good response, then you move forward in setting up the date. You get a bad response, you try to calibrate the best way you can. You get no response. In this way, you send like those messages that we said before, those messages that just give value, that don't need a reply. And sometimes, you know, you would be surprised. You can send those messages every 2 days for 3 weeks. And in the 3rd week, she will reply. You don't know why, but that will happen. And the 4th scenario is when she asks you questions, which means that she is interested. And in this case, I always say, wait a little before you give too much. What is your blueprint?
I think what you said is definitely fitting in what I do. Obviously, like if she gives you a logical response, different than if she's testing you, different than if it's a positive response. I think you should always be escalating if you have the opportunity. But something, if I was to look at all my clients and be like, okay, this is what they need, patience is so huge. Like I get guys telling me like, oh, she hasn't responded, and it was an hour ago. I'm like, relax. Like you should not be sitting around waiting for someone to respond at all. That should never be the case. Okay, you should be going out doing things. And on top of that, my other rule is only text when you feel like texting, right? My notifications for a lot of my apps are off, but a lot of them are on, and I kind of just like know that someone's texted me, but I'm just not in the mode right now to respond. Because if I respond right now, nothing I'm gonna say is gonna have that much value, because it's like ugh, it's like homework. It's like I don't want to do this right now. But if I wait, and then I kind of remember a bit of what she said, and then I'm going about my day, and then something resonates with me, then I will come up with a way better response that has so much more value, and it's coming from a position where like I want to text right now, right? So patience, only texting when you actually feel like it, and the same thing that you said, right? Like I think it's really important, you have to respond to her direct responses as well, and like if she's being positive or testing you.
My blueprint are the 4 P's, and the first P is persistence, and that is having persistence either with someone that is not responding to you, or just persistence with women that you connected with or have their numbers. Don't take it personally if they haven't responded to you right away, or if it's been quite some time. That's actually the second P. So first is persistence, second is personal, which is don't take it personally. I have a guy that I dated probably 3 years ago, and he still texts me every few months, like without fail. He has gotten so much success by being so persistent, and it just shows that he's not going to give up, and that's so attractive as a guy that knows what he wants. He goes for it, and he doesn't take it personally when I tell him, listen, I'm not interested, or he just sent me a text this week, and I told him, hey, I have a boyfriend. And instead of taking it really personally, getting upset with me, he goes, oh, I didn't know that. Well, good. Don't break up with him yet. I'm not ready for you yet. Right? So he's still so light and playful with it. So first is persistence. Second is don't take it personally. So persistence, personal. Third is being playful with it. And the fourth one is pleasure, is actually you having fun with it. So persistence, playfulness, pleasure, and don't take it personally.
That's awesome. Yeah, I really like that. I've gotten a lot of girls tell me that I'm very persistent. So I think
such an attractive trait.
Yeah.
It's and that applies to when you're approaching in real life, or when you any kind of conversation you're having with a woman is you need to show your intent. And again, the difference between coming off needy and coming off as attractive is you're doing it in a light and playful manner. You're not doing it because you need something from her. You're doing it because you're curious, because you're having fun. But a guy that's persistent, that knows what he wants, that makes us feel wanted. That makes us see you as bold, as masculine, as taking charge, taking the lead. So never confuse persistence or going for something with neediness. It's all about your intent.
Yeah, I really like what you're saying, Lynn, because that totally looks like what I'm teaching when it comes to meeting people in real life. That's very accurate. And I love that because in the past, every guy that was trying to help you with texting would give you all those messages, all those structures, all those rules, levels, stages. And that's probably why most of our clients hate texting, because it got so complicated and so different than the rest of the world. And actually, when you said that, I got convinced it's worth texting for sure.
Yay, we convinced David.
Interesting. Yes, I am. Now it feels natural, now it feels real, and it feels like you don't have to, invent yourself texting personality, which is something that is not very attractive to me.
One of my clients breaks every single rule that you would think of when texting. Like his text messages are like essays, it seems. But girls are just entranced by it. Like, cause he has his own style, and he's actually doing it right. Like, like from my point of view, like when I look at it, I'm like, yeah, everything is right. Like if I change something for him, like, okay, yeah, don't say that, that's too needy. But everything else is perfect. And women are like, wow, I've never had someone text me like this. And they're actually so intrigued by it. So don't get so caught up in like those old rules that we all like know. Like, make sure you match her text. It's like, it's very strict.
So guys, as I said, I wanted to talk with Lynn and Kal because I have seen so many of our clients and my personal clients get 10x their results online and through texting by signing up to their program. So I never recommend something that I wouldn't do myself, and I don't subscribe to many programs, to be honest. And these two are the ones that I wished I had when I was learning. I invite you to check out the links in the description to see if this is a good fit for you, and if you hesitate with, should I go the texting route? Should I go the online dating route? Or should I just start approaching more or fix my mindset and be more comfortable with my emotions? We can help you with that and see what works for you and what is the best fit for you. So you can book a breakthrough session by clicking on the link below to see what is the best fit for you.
And guys, make sure to comment below. We want to hear from you. We want to hear from what's been working for you, what hasn't been working for you. And we also want to know what you guys want to know next, what you guys want us to cover next. Remember, we're here for you guys.